You see, guys, here's the thing about music production and life. You have to understand that when you're doing music production and life, you're going to have to be motivational. You're going to have to be somebody who's making so many tracks that eventually you're going to combine 1,000 of your tracks and you're going to be like, wow. Because life is not just one song. You have to understand, life is millions of songs in one. You understand? Otherwise, life is many experiences in one. You understand? Because you only get one life, although you get many experiences in one life. You understand? So life is just one experience as well. Because the one experience you have is a sum up of all of your experiences. You have to make sure that you go fulfill all your desires, or that make sure that you go do it in Jesus' name, in a way that you follow the 10 commandments, and make sure that every single day you understand to go promote yourself every single day. You have to understand that when you have a microphone and you plug it into your phone, you just double check that it works, because sometimes you may be speaking for 1 hour, like I did before, and then I watch the video after it's done, and there's no audio for 1 hour. Although all you see is my face. You get it? And it's like, I've been talking for 1 hour, trying to teach you, although there's no audio sound. Understand? So I got some practice in, although I understand that I never lost that content. I never lost that time. Because what's important is that you keep doing it. And I still have my face recorded for 1 hour, so you can understand that. Whereas the whole goal here today is to understand that you project your emotions, because I've been now projecting emotions for ever now, although understand now is the time to do so. Understand? Because right now is where life begins. I realize every single moment of your life is now. I realize that you're not living life in the future or the past, because the future and the past consist of the ego. And now you are not the ego, although you are the one observing the ego. You understand? You're the Omega. You're something, the Brahma. You're the Brahma. You're God. You're Jesus. You understand? So you're going that way. Although the ego is trying to convict you and trying to make you Hitler. You understand? So what you need to do every single day is write everything down. And make sure that those thoughts you have is processing. And the best way to process your thoughts is write it down into a video or into an audio or into writing pieces. You understand? Because when you're writing everything down, even if you're doing paintings, you have to understand that when people who paint draw something, otherwise they draw their thoughts onto a paper. You understand? And that's why they create something. So your thoughts create the world. Although understand that you are not your thoughts. You understand? You are not the sum up of the thoughts or habits that you've accumulated. You understand? You have to understand Jesus though. You have to understand that Jesus accumulated these rich habits. And it's sort of like, honestly, it's not even like, although you have to understand that it's Jesus, where Jesus went vegan, and Jesus never killed anybody. And Jesus forgave you, and also did all these miracles. You understand? And Jesus never ate meat, for example, and never hit anybody. You understand? So understand the 10 commandments of God, and start reading about everything about life. You understand? Because that way you're going to be more interested. Although when you're doing a video, you need to project your emotions at people. You need to project your emotions into the spotlight. So if you want to become something big in a spotlight, you need to do it daily in front of people. You have to go where people are. And even on highways, for example, today I went on the highway, in terms of Liverpool Highway, and I was there promoting my sign with my big Instagram. And guess what? Many people came on my Instagram. Just check me out. And now 56 people is not many people, although it's more than yesterday. You get it? So realize that no matter what, I understand that when I do something much more than yesterday, I understand I'm always much better than yesterday. You get it? I'm always grateful for those who do search me up, because here I am now giving you content, because I understand I'm a life coach every single day, and I understand what my true passion is. And that is just stay consistent on Instagram every single day, where I post 60 photos of myself and 100 photos into my Instagram stories and 1 hour into YouTube. I realized 1 hour into YouTube about life coaching. You understand? I realized that's my goal every single day. Although I understand that when I go over the top, I understand I do it in front of people. Otherwise, I may do a 2-hour seminar instead of 1. I may do a 3-hour seminar instead of 1. I may do more than that. Although I understand I keep to the one basic principle, which is the 1 hour rule. I do everything by 1 hour. You understand? I do everything by one. You understand? So when I sleep, I can sleep for 1 hour and then ask myself a question, shall I sleep for another hour? Although when I have a shower, I go to one principle and I just have a 1 minute shower quickly. And I have a 1 minute grooming session quickly. You understand? I realize when I have to nap, I sleep for 1 hour. Although I just nap. I just close my eyes. Because that's the whole point. You're not supposed to be sleeping throughout life. You're supposed to be growing. You're supposed to be pushing yourself to be productive. So push your emotions daily. And that's what I find with veganism, for example. Because I'm a vegan, I have so much more energy than most people. I have so much more energy than I did before. And now, before I was fat, I was 47 kilos heavier than this weight that I have right now. Although I'm around 70 kilos now, I used to weigh 113. I used to be fat. I used to be obese class 2. And nobody else cared about me. Although, guess what? I promise you, everybody else was running away from me because I was a nobody. You understand? I was a smoker and a drug addict. I was on medication. I was down and out. And people were getting me to work the 9 to 5 as well. You understand? I was down and out. I realized I had no energy. I was very mentally ill. I could not move. You understand? I could not move. I had no energy. I would puff out. You understand? So now, what's changed? I realized that my eating habits changed. I can now eat much better than yesterday and I can keep off the weight and maintain my weight right now. And also now it's time to gym. I realize it's time to work out my muscles, although I never go to the gym anymore. Because I saved $54,000 over my lifetime just never going to the gym. And I also saved 3 years of my life never going to the gym. 3 years of my life. Whereas by the time you drive to the gym, and by the time you're there 1 hour a day, you get it? Whereas that's already 2 hours a day. Let's just put it like that. Whereas that's 6 years of your life if you live 72 years longer. You understand? So every single day, you have to calculate your numbers. You have to calculate where you are every single day. You have to understand that those who are around you do not want you to succeed. I promise you. I want you to succeed. I will succeed by your side. Although understand that those people around you will never do it for you. I will also never do it for you. Because you will never even do it for me. Or else why would I do it for you if you never do it for me? Although, if you do it for me, I realize it means you walk my shoes. Or else if I do it for you, I realize I then walk your shoes. You walk your shoes, I'll walk my shoes. Although, let's make sure that we succeed more. And now, to succeed more, you have to give more ideas. You have to give people ideas. Although, push your emotions, I realize you have to push your emotions and project it at people to understand that there's something much more worth living. And it's you. You understand? You have to push. You have to push yourself to communicate every single day. And you have to maintain consistency. You have to be dedicated. You have to be motivated. And to be motivated, you have to push your emotions. Otherwise, emotions rule the world, as Tony Robbins says. Otherwise, if you're hungry, you push your emotions to delay gratification. You understand? Otherwise, if you're hungry and you go to eat food and drink, you push your emotions into it. You understand? You go push yourself to eat then. I realize if you cannot eat food and drink, you go push yourself with your emotions to go eat and drink. Push yourself. Understand? I realize that if you need to be in the spotlight, you push yourself to be in front of a crowd. And then just keep pushing yourself to be there. In front of a crowd. And just use your emotions. And then suddenly, you have all these images that you've accumulated from being in a crowd. Because now, you have images of me right now. So the more you reach in terms of my images, I realize, and watch my images, you have to understand the more I give you these signals and confidence in terms of the knowledge and wisdom that I provide, and I give you a service for your kind deeds to watch me from everybody else. You understand? Because I'm here to provide you value. I'm not here to waste your time. So when you're public speaking in front of a crowd, you're accumulating all these images. Although the more you do it, the more images, or else the more images you have of you public speaking in front of a crowd, the more confident you get. Or else the more you promote yourself in the spotlight, the more you can be in the spotlight. Because you find out how people are in the spotlight. You find out when 50,000 people look at you in one day on the highway, you find out what I mean about confidence and how to achieve more. Because those people who have never set foot to promote themselves on the highway or public, or realize they've never public spoke and they've never done public speaking in front of a live crowd, or realize they have to summon the confidence to go up in front of a crowd and start public speaking right now. Understand? So if you're feeling sick, you cover yourself with a jumper, you put the heater on, you put your blanket over you, and you relax. You understand? Or else that after a cardio session, you make sure to put a jumper on, you have a shower, you do not go sleep while you're sweaty. You understand? You don't go sleep while you stink. You go have a shower after you promote yourself, or after you've been on the highway promoting yourself, or after you've been in the sun, because it's going to help you. You understand? Because you've been sweating, so never ever go anywhere else when you sweat. You understand? You go back into your accommodation, which is inside your body, although your outside accommodation is maybe where your biological parents live or something like that. Although this outside accommodation is what I'm talking about. Alright, that's an outside world accommodation. Whereas my inside world accommodation is different. Although in the outside world accommodation, you can go and shower yourself as well. Although understand that your real shower is inside. Instead, you have to clean yourself. You have to understand to grow yourself inside out and not outside in. Whereas the more you understand that emotions rule the world, you're going to project your emotions at people and at the video camera to go and speak and public speak in front of people, because you have to project your emotions at them. You have to push your emotions into them. You have to push your emotions into the spotlight. So if you need to be famous like Justin Bieber or like Kim Kardashian, you have to push yourself to be in front of people. You understand? Because if you're not in front of people, you then will never become famous. Because those who have fame right now have got a service to provide. They've got something to provide. And now Kim Kardashian has a beauty product, and she's all about beauty. You understand? And she has a TV reality show that she created. Although understand that no matter what, that Justin Bieber is a singer. You understand? So he's got something to promote. Or else he's got something to promote. I am a life coach. I am a music producer. I've got something to promote too. And understand I'm also a comedian. I can do comedy shows. I can also do stand-up defense fighting. I can teach people how to fight too on the street or wherever. I understand that I can also do martial arts. You understand? I can also sing publicly. I can sing in the public domain and publicly. And publicly. You understand? I can sing publicly, and I can understand that no matter what, that I can communicate. How about you? You have to understand that when you can communicate, you can also be in front of a crowd. Because if you cannot communicate, you have to understand you have to learn how. And the best way how is to write a journal about communication and start communicating more in your journal. And that way you're going to better your life quickly. Because I've been journaling now for 3 years, and it's taken me 3 years to even get on the streets. You know, or else in terms of the highway, to promote myself on the highway. Understand? Or else it's taken me 3 years of journaling. Because my communication skills are now up there, or else my modeling is getting up there in terms of my fashion modeling. Or else you have to flaunt, you have to go flaunt yourself. You have to go flaunt your fats. You understand? You have to flaunt it. You just show it. You be honest with yourself. You be honest with yourself. Or else if you don't like photos of yourself, well, it's because you don't like yourself. You go take as many photos of yourself as possible. You start to develop yourself. I don't care how fat you are. You understand? I'm not fat, although I'm better than fat. You understand? Or else that whatever I have here, or else I have to do better. Or else we all have to do better. Or else we all have to have bigger muscles and better wisdom and a better persona. Or else we all have to travel more and do something more in life. So understand that we have to start somewhere. So start doing more photos of yourself first. And understand that it's the best pathway to look at yourself. Because your best image is you. Or else my best image is me. I just realized I just decided to unsubscribe from Spotify. And to stop listening to trance music and all their music that they post on Spotify. Why? Because I understand that Spotify brings new music every single week. And that's all I'll ever listen to. So what's the point of listening to Spotify 4 times a week? To give them $16? Although understand that if I kept repeating music on Spotify, I realize that's called ego. So if I listen to your music 50 million times, I realize that I build this massive memory about your music. And that's called ego. Otherwise, that's all sad and sadness to listen to your music 50 million times. Because I have something better to do. You understand? You have to understand that no matter what, that I can listen to your music one time and play it for 3 minutes. Although never repeat it. I'll never repeat it. You understand? So when I go on Spotify, I realize that all these artists are usually promoting trance music and hardstyle music and their music. And they make all these sets and differences around their music only. And I realized then they give no fucks about other people's music. You understand? I went and sent Armin van Buuren my music, and the guy doesn't respond. You understand? I realized they reject my music in terms of his label, the Armada music label. You understand? I was above and beyond as well. Although I understand that they still have to reply. I understand, although, that I never again will send them my music, because I understand that they are in their own trend. You understand? And I never have to qualify for their trend. Ever again. I never have to qualify for you. I never have to qualify for a woman. I never have to qualify for anybody anymore. Otherwise, if you ask me to perform to qualify and you're going to judge me about something, I was like, I'll never even perform. You understand? Because I don't have to perform in front of you to prove myself worthy. I don't have to go where I may get rejected. I realize if there's a high possibility or even a little slight chance I may get rejected, I'll never go there. Understand? I realize especially on the dance floor of the nightclub, I'll never ever run to a woman there because she'll just turn her eyes to another man. You understand? I realize that's what they do. I realize they're all egotistical. Understand? So what do? I stay away from nightclubs. I don't even go to nightclubs anymore. I don't even go to festivals anymore. I used to love this trance music in terms of other people's trance music. And guess what? I love everyone. I love everything in life. I'm not a hater. I just never need to listen to their music anymore. I don't find their music interesting anymore. I don't care what they're playing. I don't find their music very interesting. I don't find those nightclub music that you listen to interesting. I only listen to my music. I'm a music producer. I make my own music. I just listen to that. Understand? I stick to what I'm good at. I stick to my own persona, because I realize that my music is much better than anybody else's. Otherwise, everybody has an opinion about whose music is better. Or else you may say that Armin van Buuren's music is much better than mine. Although, have you ever played your own music? Or else, have you ever produced your own music? So you cannot really say whose music is better when you have yet to start your music. Or else, once you start your music though, you'll say your music is better than everything else. Understand? And that's where I stand. Whereas my music is much better than his music and everybody's music. Understand? Whereas my life coaching videos are much better than everybody else's. I mean, let's just put it like that. Because I teach something. I'm unique. I have something else that you don't have. I speak a different tone. Otherwise, is Jesus speaking for me now? I mean, you can say so. Although I realize that I'm not controlled by Jesus. I have a choice to follow Jesus or not. Or else I'm just doing my job here. To understand that I'm providing you some information on how you can live your life. And we're just doing some business strategies over here. I realize we're just doing some planning strategies. Understand? I realize my image is much more important than your image. I'd rather look at my face than look at your face. I realize that's the same with music. I'd rather listen to my music than listen to your music. I realize when I say my music, I don't mean the nightclub's music. I realize the music I made is much better. I make music. I rather listen to my music all day long. I repeat it 50 million times because I understand my music makes me happier than anybody else's. I understand my image makes me happier than anybody else's. I don't care how beautiful the woman is. You understand? Whereas my image makes me happier than her. I've been in my life all my life. Understand? So I realize that when I have something to give, I give a service. And that service I provide is words of encouragement and courage and ideas about business. Every single day, I talk about my life. I talk about my life in a journal. I plan everything down. I make every single move in my journal. I say, where will I go today? And where will I be next week? And where will I be next month? And what will I do today? And what will I eat? And what kind of shopping food items can I get? I write it all down. Before I even get to the shopping center, I see already what I have to get. Understand? I don't just go walk about in the shopping center anymore. Understand? I don't just say and look at the aisles about what to eat. I'm not that anymore. I used to be that. I used to be walking out of the supermarket and then I see a Kit Kat or a Mars bar and I grab it and I go to the counter because it's just on the way. I mean, that's stupid. I don't even eat chocolate anymore. I don't even eat ice cream anymore. I used to be that fatty I used to say, ooh, ice cream. I realized I used to be like that. I used to love the cream. You get cream from the freezer over there in the supermarket. I used to say cream, and I used to put cream on my mouth. I was, how ugly is that? And like, I used to be like that. I believed I was funny in terms of that. Although I'm very funny now. I'm very funny because I'm a smart ass. I understand that smart ass people will make it. I realize they will show you something. I will show you something. I'll show you something always. You have to understand that when you show something, you're going to show your heart. You're going to show determination and motivation and understanding abundance and richness and how to really, really improve your life every single day. Understand? I realize now I promote myself on highways at the moment, and then I have to go to town hall and promote myself in front of more people. Understand? Although for now, I'm building confidence on the highway. And I understand that no matter what, the crowd around me now, in terms of the community I grew up with, is more eyeing me out now. Because they hear about me. You understand? And now, over the next 72 years, you're going to expect a lot of photos from me and a lot of videos from me. Understand? And there's more coming. I understand that every single day I can teach you 1 hour, no problem. I used to do 3 hours every single day. Although now, I understand that 1 hour is more than enough. I realize that I've got 1 hour of music to do. I've also got writing. I've got reading to do every single day. I've got a family to deliver. Understand? I've got something else to do in terms of muscle work. So to do 3 hours of live coaching, I can trade 2 hours to do muscle work and trade 1 hour from that to do something else. You understand? So 1 hour each. You understand? Because that way I feel more prepared. I feel much more enlightened. I feel much more enlightened to work on my music and my life coaching than just my life coaching every single day. Understand? So I have to open up some time, freedom. So that's the whole point of life. Although life is so easy when you understand how to grow. Otherwise, if you don't understand how to grow, you'll lose your mindset. Understand? Because your mindset is everything. Otherwise, if you have a better mindset, you have better wisdom, you have better Jesus, you have better abundance, you have better richness, you have more money, you have a better health. You have better health. You have more wealth. You can travel the world. You're never limited by anything or anybody. Whereas today, the police officers came up to me and they say, get off the road. Whereas on the microphone. Whereas I'm in the middle of the road, although understand that when you're crossing the lights, you step inside the fence and then there's concrete for about 2 meters. And then you step again onto another road and then you keep walking. And there's like a middle pathway. And I stood there and I started promoting myself and my content. And 3 of them stepped out to say, you cannot go there because it's like breaking against the law. Although there's no sign saying so. Or there's no sign to say that it's disallowed to promote yourself. And now, how can I step out or step into your house and say that you cannot promote yourself? I promise you that you can always promote yourself. Although the police never want you to. I promise you the police never want you to promote yourself. You understand? And that's what they told me today. Because they said that you are not allowed to promote yourself. I promise you I'm allowed to promote myself. I promise you everybody's allowed to promote themselves. I promise you it's harmless to promote yourself. Or as they said, it's dangerous to promote yourself. Or is it bullshitting? Or it's all bullshit. And what they're trying to do is take away your freedom. So understand that if a police officer ever comes up to you and says you cannot promote yourself, you have to understand that you can promote yourself. Understand? But if they throw you in jail because you promoted yourself, otherwise that's why it's an evil world. Otherwise it's an evil world because we have police officers today that are going to say that you must never promote yourself. Understand? That's Liverpool, Sydney, Australia Police Department. Understand? So understand that no matter what, that I am allowed to promote myself. Although they said that you can stand on the side somewhere and promote yourself. And now, I stand on the side. Although now, I would love to see them also say this in terms of that they disallow me to promote myself. Because if they disallow me to promote myself, I will die for it. I will die to promote myself. Roshi, if you step up to me and you say, get out of this area because I see you promoting yourself, I will never leave. Because you have to understand, I'm promoting myself here. Understand? You have to kill me. You have to kill me. Understand? So understand this, that if people are trying to disallow you to promote yourself, you just understand this. You move away from them and go and promote yourself somewhere different. Because understand that no matter what, that it's a free world. You can promote yourself all the time. Although the police will say you must never do that. Understand? Or actually 3 police officers came up to me and said that you must never promote yourself. I say, yeah. I realized no matter what, I understand I started to promote myself on the side. And it's like they took away my freedom. I realized I'm more than a civilian. Although I understand that the government is trying to pin you down no matter what. And they dislike you promoting yourself. I mean, they don't need you to put yourself first. I mean, they don't believe in Jesus Christ. I mean, they don't believe that they love themselves. You understand? I promise you, they love to drag everybody down, these police departments and the government. Because they don't care about you. Or else they care about themselves. So they're going to give you some money in return for your time to make you a slave so that you can put them first. Because they make you work for money. You don't work for money, you work for yourself. You work to become the best version of yourself. You don't work for money. Understand? You don't steal money either. Because money can be never stolen. You can never steal money. You can never steal plastic. You can never steal this. You can never steal this. Understand? Or else that you can steal nothing from this world. Or else that this world is not owned by you. Or else there's nothing to own in this world. Understand? Or else there's no such thing as thieves in this world. Although understand that you must never ever steal anything anyway. Because the whole point is understand that you can never steal anything. So never try to steal anything. Or else all you can do is promote yourself daily and understand that there are going to be people who are going to come up to you and say, never promote yourself. You understand? So you have to fight it and promote yourself. And I had some tall guy who's a Goliath come up to me and says, shut your fucking music up. And shut the shithole up. Otherwise, I played it because I don't even know this guy. And it's 3 p.m. in the daytime. And he's saying that other people are sleeping. He's saying that other people are sleeping 3 p.m. in the daytime. And I don't care if they are. Because guess what? I realized that it's near a highway. Because it's near a highway. Understand? So I understand that if this guy hit me, I'll have to hit him back. Understand? Although I'm not that type of guy to kill him. Understand? I can really hurt him. I mean, let's just put it that way. Although I understand to never fight in the first place. Otherwise, I received some complaints for promoting myself and for putting myself first. I say let it be that way. Otherwise, I get some hate because I understand Jesus promoted himself the most, and that's why he was hated for that. So I understand that when I go in the spotlight, you have to kill me to understand that I will succeed even though. Whatever you do. Or else whatever you do, I will succeed anyway. Understand? I'm always successful either way, no matter what you do. Understand? So I will never ever stop promoting myself to get to the spotlight, and even more than that. Because if you say to stop I from doing something, I never stop I. I never stop myself from promoting myself. So you can never make me stop. Or else you'll have to kill me to make me stop. I'll never stop. Otherwise that, if you show me one of these, because I promote myself and love myself, otherwise you have a problem too. Although I have no problem. I have no problems. So understand that you never fall jealous about somebody who's overtaken you in legacy or in terms of great status, because greater status is competition too. Otherwise, I just have no competition. I'm just so unique that nobody else can be me. Or else nobody else can be me in life. Although I understand that you must never be me. You must go towards Jesus and be more of Jesus today. Or I'm more like Jesus today. So those who understand more of Jesus are going to understand more of the spotlight and more about life. So go and learn from them every single day, because they're the ones who follow Jesus. Or else every single day I understand to push my emotions now in terms of a video. I understand to slow down my communication in a way that I will grow every single time. I understand now that most of the women from the crowd in the past are also getting onto me and are trying to see what I'm up to because they hear my name everywhere. Understand? So now I've got town hall. I've got hostels over there where I can go and sleep in a 4-bedroom dorm. I understand that it's a slow process and a slow journey. I'm 28 years of age in one because I consider myself number one. You have to understand that whatever age you are, you can start today to promote yourself, although go where more people are. Otherwise, there's no use promoting yourself in Alice Springs unless you're doing it online. And Alice Springs is in the middle of Australia, so you'll never find much people over there. Otherwise there is people, although there's not much people over there. I cannot say that there is no people over there, because there is people over there. Although I understand I can say anything. Understand? I can say anything, although realize this, that you must promote yourself one way or another. You must understand that you're important. You must understand that life is to be lived now, and push yourself to do videos every single day now. I mean, push yourself now more than ever to look better and to feel better and to have health and to write books and to write everything down. Because my books and the books I write is my journal. I just write a journal down. I don't care about the ebooks. I don't care about the physical books. I don't care about that. I realize what I care about is journaling every single day, my life, and planning my life to succeed every single day. I realize now recently I've seen some recent customers from the past who have been in my life. And they're my customers. I realize you're my customer. I realize that now anybody who reaches your life and comes into your life is your customer. I realize anybody who comes into your life is your customer. You have to understand that they've seen me and now they're promoting me around the crowd in terms of the Serbian community and Croatian community around I. Although understand that no matter what, I'm an entrepreneur. I realize I'm an entrepreneur. I understand that when you ask me what do I do, you understand by I entrepreneur, you understand what I do. You understand? I realize it's in the first comments. Although I understand that most people get confused about what you do because understand it's not you. I realize it's them. I realize the best thing you can do right now is understand that even though the coronavirus is going on around us every single day, you have to understand that it's a fake pandemic. Understand? I realize that what's real is Jesus' work today. And that's always everlasting. And nothing can break the Bible. And no matter how much you lock up Australia and the world, or else the Bible, you can never lock it up. You can never lock up the Bible. You understand? I realize the Bible's too strong for you. Understand? So what do? You go and raise the Bible and add to it every single day. I realize add your life into it. I realize you're a book of life. I realize everybody's a book of life. I realize now the better your story and the more you can show your face into the world and become famous and more famous and more famous and teach while you're at it, I realize the better your journey. Or to understand that it's either be famous and make the world see you in terms of everybody or nothing. Understand? I realize you go where fame is and be in the fame and stay there. I realize it's much better to be in the spotlight than to be somewhere in a hole where nobody sees you. You understand? I mean, come out of the hole and start exposing yourself more. Because when I expose myself, I'll go write everything down in my journal and what I've done and all these secrets in my journal. And then once I have no more secrets to tell you, I can get into the spotlight now. I realize that if you're not going to the spotlight today, I realize it's because you have so many secrets to share. I realize it's something that you have to expose every single day. You have to expose all your secrets about who you are and what you've done and who exactly you are. Understand? And your story is who you are, so explain it. And no matter what you've done, because it can be negative and it can be positive. Although wherever you are, you're there for a reason. So if you're not in jail, because even if you expose it, you'll never go to jail. Understand? You'll never go to jail even if you expose your negativity and illegal matters that you've done. Understand? So realize I'm not illegal, I'm not a criminal, although understand that I also have done illegal matters before. Understand? I have also done drugs. Understand? I mean, let's just put it like that. And it's a legal drug that I've done. Understand? Although understand that I never sell drugs. I never sell drugs. I never do drugs anymore. I've moved on. Understand? Because I learn from something more now. I learn from Jesus. Understand? And if they put you in jail, you have to understand that nobody's going to put you in jail. You understand? Nobody's going to put you in jail except you. So realize to never put yourself in jail. Because I've been to jail. I punched a woman because she punched me first. Whereas I went to jail before and she never did. Although she hit me first and she never went to jail. So understand that no matter what, I'm still over that. I'm something better than her. Understand? Otherwise, I was not supposed to react. Although I understand that you have to move on. You have to understand to keep going and just never cause trouble. Understand? Otherwise, that the best aspect of life is do better and do more than yourself. Otherwise, it's much better that you have to understand that more confidence equals more courage. So understand that the more you improve yourself and love yourself every single day, the more you're going to actually do. So understand every single day, you're always looking to improve your life and to give honest answers, because you need to be an honest individual every single day. You have to, every single day, be an honest individual in divine nature. You have to understand that you're something from above this world. You also must overcome this world. You must overcome your ego. You must do it with your emotions. You must understand that as soon as you project your emotions at me, or whatever in terms of life, you have to understand that you will learn to overcome it. You will learn to overcome Sydney. You will learn to overcome Australia. You will learn to overcome your country and fly the world. Because the way to do it is be in the spotlight. And be in the spotlight and be in the spotlight. So follow the spotlight. And where the people are is where you must go. And you must be the only one on the microphone, very loud, teaching. Understand? You must be loud teaching something about your life. And that way, people are going to look at you like a leader. Understand? Whereas now, when I was on the highway promoting myself, I was pushing my emotions to be there. Because I wanted to leave. I wanted to leave. Although I kept pushing myself to be there for another hour, and for another hour, and for another hour. I just kept pushing myself to be there. You understand? I kept pushing myself to do something different while I'm there, and to experience it. You understand? Because I felt scared. Although I understand that no matter what, I love it now, even more because I get to be in that spotlight. Otherwise, it's like a drug. Otherwise, the more people look at you, the better. Otherwise, it's like you came out of your mama's womb, and suddenly people are looking at you right away. Otherwise, you're something amazing. You understand? It's something amazing. You just came into the world. You understand? And you're a baby, and you're still a baby as you grow up. You have to remember that. You're always a baby. You have to stay in the baby state, as Taoism says. Otherwise, Taoism, you have to go read the book. You have to understand that no matter what, that as you age, you must look younger and younger and younger, and you must feel younger and younger and younger as you age. Otherwise, you'll feel older and older and older. I never need to be older. I need to look younger. I look younger than ever before. I feel better than ever before. I feel better than a baby. Or else, as soon as I came into the world, is how I feel. I mean, let's just put it like that. Or else I feel like that. I feel like a baby. I feel amazing. I feel something tremendous. Because I understand that I can keep my health where it is and increase it. And the best way to increase my health now is to get bigger muscles and start training. Because I have 28, although I'm 28 in 1. Understand? I'm 28 in 1. I understand when I call myself 28 years of age, I'm also number 1. Understand? Otherwise, I'm number 1 in my heart. Because 28 doesn't reflect I. Otherwise, you have to simplify numbers. So I say I'm 28 in 1. You understand? I understand that my real age is this moment. And this moment, I do everything. I understand to do content. I understand to give freedom. I understand to give skills every single day. I understand that what I learn on a daily basis goes into video and is uploaded into YouTube. I understand to always perform and push myself always to project my emotions into the camera and into what I need to do daily to upload content as well. I project my emotions into uploading content and downloading content and into doing my music and into recording myself as I do music. And as I do music, I record myself so that I can teach you how to do music as well. Because the more I teach you, the better. Because the more I teach you, the more I can teach you something. So it's much better to teach you than to do nothing. I'd rather record myself than not record myself. Otherwise, the more you record yourself, even doing workouts, otherwise it works out. Because it's much better to look at yourself as you record yourself and as you talk about muscle training and body training than to just look at the wall. I'd rather look at myself than look at the wall. So I open up my camera in terms of my video camera and I start to really grasp to train you and to teach you while I train myself and teach myself. I try, and then ideas just come to me, and I just give it. I give you the ideas, and then I get better and better and better. Although I understand that cardio and workouts and muscle training is all cardio work, and it's just making sure that you have a composure about you to understand how you can reflect everything. Because when you have more agility and when you feel stronger, you're going to feel much more physically stronger in a way that you feel more spiritual as well. Although I understand that it's a much better technique to work out every single day when you can. You only work out when you feel like it. I realize that if it's too much pressure and you've got something else more important to do, you do what's more important. I realize you only work out when you must work out. You only do anything when you must do it. I now must promote myself on the street every single day. I must be on the street promoting myself in front of thousands of people every single day because I understand that I will eventually reach that 100,000 mark of followers and then 1 million followers. You understand? So I have to be in front of people and more people to reach that every single day. And then more people have to share me around because they feel so inspired by me. Because I'm so inspirational. So every single day, I'm always looking for a new way to promote myself. And I understand that the coronavirus is going on today. Although I understand I'm at the height of my career. And the coronavirus is not pinning me down. Otherwise, nothing's going to pin me down anymore. Otherwise, if I have to work a 9-to-5 job, I never have to again. Because I never will. I never have to work a 9-to-5 job. You understand? Otherwise, I'm free of the government. I'm free of everything. You understand? I'm free to live my life. Because how? Because I made my life that way. I chose to be free. I chose to find freedom. I live with my parents. I've got money. I've got everything. You understand? I realize that the woman in my life, I realize that I don't need women right now. I realize what I need more is to teach you and to have higher status. And then the women look at me in the spotlight and they say, I need you because you're very successful. I realize that's the easiest way to get women and men today. You just become more successful. And it's so easy to get what you need. You understand? I realize the more successful you are and the single you are, you understand, the more other people will chase you to be with you. You understand? Because you got the money, you got the success, you can take them around the world. Otherwise, you're like a man, you're a man or you're a woman. You have to understand that you then, at higher success, you find other people who are higher successful and you be around them. I mean, why would you be around somebody who is a high schooler or who nobody knows when you can get yourself somebody who's an actor, who's actually famous, who's actually going for you? Whereas you'd rather go for the high achiever. You'd rather go for somebody who's more successful. Understand? Whereas now, some people, in terms of women and men, are going for egotistical women or men. And they're going downhill because those people who are very egotistical are more egotistical than the rest in their crowd. And that's why they're going for them. Because they're very egotistical people. And now they're the opposite of success. And now these people are going for the opposite of success in the way of downhill. And they're looking to see who is the highest among the crowd in the community. And now those people who are the highest in terms of amongst the crowd, who have the most egos and who have the highest popularity in terms of the egos, or they're really egotistical and drug abusers. And they have the biggest family. And that's who the women go for. Or the men go for. You understand? Because they have brothers and sisters and a family together, and they're reunited all the time, and they're sticking together. And they got some money. Otherwise, that's all they have. Otherwise, they have no health. Otherwise, they have no health. Otherwise, they're nobodies. Otherwise, it's much better to be alone and high achiever in terms of high fame than to be with brothers and sisters being a nobody. You understand? Because your brothers and sisters are not going to help you become famous. Because if you become famous and they don't, otherwise they'll be jealous. Otherwise, you've got this high popularity and they don't. So if you're around your brothers and sisters, I promise you they're going to really, really hate you the more you promote yourself. So what do? You stay away from your father and biological mother and biological father, although you are your father and mother. You don't stay away from you. You stay away from all your biological family because they are not in it for you. You must be in it for you. You must stand on the street and promote yourself. You must stand in front of a crowd and promote yourself by yourself on a microphone and teach people something. You must do these videos by yourself. Realize that your biological father, mother, and cousins are not going to do it. You understand? So that's the reality. I mean, nobody's there for you, really, except you. Whereas now, if you're not even there for you, you're screwed already. If you're not there for you. You have to understand that you have to realize every single day I'm here for me. I realize that everybody else is not important. I realize you are not important to me because I understand that what's important is that I teach you something. And then once I teach you, I just say, you go and get it and do it yourself. Because I cannot do it for you. I can do anything because when I do it for you, I do it for me. You understand? Although understand this, that I admire that you're here and all that, I just can never walk your steps. I can do anything though. I walk my own steps and that's more than enough. I just admire much more when I live my life away from you and away from other people. Although when I go towards other people, I go towards other people to lift them only. I don't go to waste their time. I don't go to humiliate myself. I don't go to embarrass myself. I don't go to make a fool of myself. I go there to be serious about what I do. And now, it's not what I do, otherwise it's why I do it. You understand? And now, my why is so strong that you understand it's my Jesus. Otherwise, my Jesus is my why. And when you understand, when you go for Jesus Christ, you understand why I do what I do. Understand? And now you have to learn, you have to grow, you have to understand curiousness is a way of life. So those who understand how to be more curious are the ones who are breathing more into life and understanding the role play, which is loving life. You need to love life, you need to understand to show yourself every single day in the camera and be a high achiever every single day. I mean, show yourself every single day that you're doing something for nothing and that you're really outperforming everybody else. You have to outperform everybody else. Do you understand? You have to understand that each and every single day you do something to help yourself, you will be that much better. Otherwise, life is meant to be lived right now. So when you're living now, you also live it much better. You have to live in reality because the imaginational world is only accomplished through reality. You understand? Whereas everything else is history. Although understand that what your reality is right now is a big imagination as well. Whereas now, imagination creates reality. You understand? Whereas imagination rules the world. Although understand that reality is where you achieve all your goals. Whereas if you just keep imagining, you'll never be in reality. So reality has got to do a lot with imagination. So what's more important? Whereas imagination is more important than reality. So the more you imagine, whereas the more you'll do in reality. Understand? So understand that reality is imagination. You get it? So reality creates imagination, or else imagination creates reality. Or else it's the same thing. Although understand this, that you must always produce more content. You must understand to push your emotions for as long as possible. And understand that what you're interested in, you must project your emotions into it. Or else if I have to do music now, I project my emotions into it. I go and push my emotions to do it. Or else if I have to go public speak somewhere, I push my emotions to do it. Or else if I have to go and have a shower in the bath, I'll go and push my emotions to do it. Or else if I have to groom and shower, I'll go and push my emotions to do it. Or else if I have to eat and drink, I push my emotions to do it. Or else if I have to exercise, I push my emotions to do it. Or else if I have to go somewhere, I push myself in terms of my emotions to do it. I just project outward. I realize though that if I project my emotions to go exercise, although I feel tired, I never do it. Or if I project my emotions to go over there in terms of Melbourne, right now, although I push to go, and then suddenly I feel like no chance. Or else that I never will go. Because why? Because I'd be tired. I'm not tired though. Although understand that if I push my emotions to go to public speak and it doesn't work out, or else it's because my ability to go there is non-existent. So I push my emotions to do something else then. Or else that if I don't go public speak, or else what else can I do? I push my emotions to see, or else how about music? Or else I can do music. I just sit and do my music instead of my public speaking with other people. Understand? So go and push your emotions to do what you can do. Understand? Because sometimes you're going to age, I realize you're going to age throughout life. And some of you have to understand that most people on the planet are decreasing their energy throughout time. I'm increasing my energy throughout time. Although understand that if you never need to increase your energy throughout time, you're going to use the 1 hour method. And it's called the 1 hour rule. And it's my rule. And I say that 1 hour of the day, you're going to be outdoors in terms of in life. You only ever be indoors. Although understand that if you ever understand this, you have to understand this. 1 hour rule, or else the 1 hour rule means that 23 hours a day, you're going to stand inside of your accommodation. And it means in the outside accommodation, you're going to be in one room like this for 23 hours. And 1 hour of the day is just to go to the shopping center or to get some clothes and food and drink. And that's it. Because 23 hours of the day, you're locked up inside. And 1 hour of the day, you're still inside, although you're just going into the world to just walk a bit and see life. Although you do that, the more you age. Understand? And that way you're going to have more energy to do your work. Because when you're 100 years of age, you understand why traveling the world may not be the exact thing you need. Understand? Because of how much energy you have. Although understand that is why you lock yourself up in one city and just be there. And just be in one room with your family or something like that. And understand that it's time to just stay indoors. And in your house. And be indoors anyway. Although understand to realize you never be outside. Because outside is not fulfilling. And outside is not the way to go. So at 100 years of age, I'm flying. I'm better than a duck. I'm not flying like a duck. I'm flying like an eagle. You understand? Because I can do this content at 100 years of age. I can do it at 200 years of age. Understand? I can understand every single technology in the planet, even at 300 years of age. I can learn it. I have the capability. Understand? Because I understand how technology works, and I'm on top of technology today. I understand how to use everything around my technology because I write it in my journal. I say, this is for this, and this is for this, and this is for this. I teach you in my journal what everything is. And then I teach myself like that. Whereas when I teach you something, I teach myself even more. Whereas that when people come up to you on Instagram and they start checking you out, you don't start messaging them at all. You don't message them. Whereas when they message you on Instagram or social media, or comment on your videos, or give you a dislike or whatever, you don't message them. You got something better to do. You understand? Whereas when you create your own music, you don't listen to their music anymore. You listen to your music. Because your music is going to make you happier than their music ever will. Whereas that your face in 1 hour video is much better to watch than any other one. I'd rather you watch yourself the most than anything else. I'd rather you focus on yourself the most than anything else. Although understand that you go towards Jesus and focus on Jesus the most. Because Jesus is somebody who you can focus on, and Jesus will never hurt you. Although Jesus will always give you wisdom and something about life, and will direct you and coach you about how to live a better life. And that's what I do. So you have me for the next 72 years and more. Although I'm a vegan, I'm really ready to study and to do better. Although I understand that every single day, I'm in it to win it. I'm in it to understand to be better than myself all the time. Because I'm all about personal growth, and that's why I am the James Bond of growth. I'm the James Bond of growth. Although I understand my Instagram was called Growth Coach 007 for a reason. I was Growth Coach 007. I'm the James Bond of growth. I see 007. Although I understand that no matter what, I'm much better than all numbers in the world. I'm better than who I am. Although I understand I never label myself unless it's my I. I have a dream. You understand? Because I rules the world. And I understand to use my I. I use my I all the time. I use it in every single sentence. I use my you in action. I use my IUQ rule. And that's where I live. I live in my home called the IUQ rule. I realize that if you ever understand where I live, I realize it's in that nice beautiful code right there. I realize it's called the IUQ rule. You understand? I live right there. I use my I use the you, I use the question. I realize that's how I speak. I realize that's how I do my communication. I start every sentence with I start every sentence with you. I start everything in terms of, I end it with you and I as well. And I ask questions all the time. I'm always open-minded. I'm making sure that what I do today is become something more. Because I understand that those people who went to my high school are not in it for me, and they're not talking about me. Although I understand that today they're talking about me more than other people, because I have something of interest. I have a big hype about me now. Whereas the whole crowd can see me now promoting myself around the area. Whereas they can all find me out. Although they have not seen me for 5 years. And now suddenly I pop up in the prologue of life. Understand? Suddenly they're talking about me because I'm creating this nice, beautiful hype about me. And then eventually I have 10,000 followers. And then 50,000 followers. And then 100,000 followers. And they're like, wow. And they're still stuck on their followers. Or I'm never stuck on my followers. You understand? I understand that anything can change. Although if you're going downhill, you're proving to me that you're doing nothing. I realize that most of the crowd from the past, except I realize that they're falling down. Understand? I realize that you have to understand that most of the past is finished with me. I realize that I'm not stuck in the past. Although I understand that some people from the past who I met, I don't even know them. I don't know who they are. I know I only. So I understand that when people know me and they know me, I realize that if they know me, you have to understand that they find you boring. I realize I never know you. Even if I have been around you for 50 years, I still don't know you. I make sure I don't know you. Because to get to know somebody, well, there's no such thing. Well, there's no such thing as getting to know somebody else. I'll never try to get to know you. Understand? Whereas that what I'll try to do with you is learn from you something. Whereas that to get to know you is about what have you taught me. And not what did you do as a kid. Although I understand that your story is something that I need to understand more. Whereas now, to make sure that you understand that every single day you promote yourself is the best way to be. So make sure every single day you do something today that's going to help you to move forward. You have to understand that I'm natural about my hair. I'm natural about who I am because I understand you can see 50,000 photos of me now on Instagram. And you go and find it right now. Understand? Because I understand my high achievement. I understand my goals. I understand my high principles. Otherwise, I can show you my face and my hair and how I grow it and everything. I've got nothing to hide anymore. I'll show you all my flaws. I understand I have crooked teeth. Although I understand that that is going away too. You understand? Whereas as I grow younger over time, I realize that I can replace my teeth too. And they can be straight this time. You understand? I can do anything. I can rule the world. Although I rule my world. I conquer my world. I become better than my world. I don't become better than your world. I'm not here to compete with you. I'm here to be one with I. I'm here to be one all the time. I realize number one is the best number, although the police say no. I realize the police say it's too dangerous to be number one. Understand? So I understand that they're stupid people, and I move on. I move on. Because if they disallow you to promote yourself, I realize the world's going evil. And that's what they proved today in Liverpool, Sydney. I realize the police department of Liverpool, Sydney. You understand? I realize they're evil people. You understand? I realize, although I understand that the police are evil people. And now, I don't know if they're from the Liverpool department of Sydney. Although I understand that they're police. From the area of Liverpool. And that's where I found them. I'm not evil. I'm not evil. I'm always in Jesus' name. I understand, though, that I'm always better than them. Because I have more power than them. And I understand that. Because I'm always promoting myself. I'm making sure that I always do what I need to do. And I just create a nice, beautiful mashup with my music, which is a nice, beautiful tone to say that you have to create more music for yourself. You have to become a music producer every single day. You have to understand that when you go and give out your story every single day, you're more teaching other people about your life than just talking about your life. Understand? You're teaching everything. You're teaching your life. You're teaching their life. You're teaching everybody's life. And how it's supposed to be much better. Although it's never supposed to be. Or else it's just to be better. You must be better. You must understand motivation is key to success. So those who give you skills every single day are the ones who are doing it. Or else they're doing it. Or else they're succeeding it. Or else they are it. You have to understand that you have to perform. And to perform, you have to push your emotions to do so. You have to understand every single day you stay consistent. You post on YouTube 1 hour of your videos every single day. And start teaching something about business entrepreneurship. And model yourself and take photos of yourself every single day. I mean, invest in yourself every single day. And that's the number one aspect of life. I realize every single day I invest in myself the most. I do photos of myself. I invest in photos of myself. You also must invest in photos of yourself. You have to understand every single day I make sure my money is where my mouth is. I speak what I live. I'm in integrity every single day. I'm making sure every single day I'm into it the best I can be. Because I understand that Grant Cardone and Zig Ziglar and also Jesus is not going to do it for me. Or else they're not going to walk my steps. You understand? Because nobody has to walk your steps for you. I never have to hold your hand. You have to hold your own hand. You have to hold your own steps. Although understand, I will walk with you. I will walk with you, although you have to walk it alone. I have to walk it alone. I realize we all have to walk it alone. Although it's about our legacy today. And what's the best aspect of our legacy? I realize it's growth. I realize it's anything to do with growth. So go surround yourself with people who are leadership mindset and business entrepreneurship and really about compassion with other people rather than just pornography and having sex with other people. I realize that when you see people who are just about sex with other people, I realize that they have no life. I realize they're not in it for you. I realize they're not in it to help you in any type of manner. And so what you can do every single day is promote yourself every single day and love your life. I mean, love your life in a way that you understand that even if a moth or non-human animal is inside of your accommodation, you don't kill it. You don't kill something that's inside of you. Although the outside world, you have to understand the outside world is inside. And you're not supposed to kill the outside world either. You understand? You're not supposed to destroy anything out there either. But that's the number one rule. Although understand that the best aspect of life is understand do not destroy anything. You don't destroy anything. You let it be. You let nature be. Otherwise, if a snake walks into your room, otherwise you just pick up the snake and you put it somewhere else. You don't kill it. Otherwise, if a moth or bees come, otherwise if 50,000 bees come into your accommodation, otherwise you don't kill them. You don't kill them. You just wash them away. You open up the windows. You get them out. You understand? You get them out. You open up the doors. You put the fans on and make sure that all the windows are up and open so they can fly away. You don't have to spray the room. You don't have to kill the room. You don't have to kill the insects around you. Although understand you don't go touching spiders because they'll bite you. Although when a spider is on you, or else the spider doesn't really understand that it's on you and it'll never bite you. Or else it doesn't matter how poisonous the snake or spider or whatever it is that's on you. Or else it'll never bite you if it walks on you first. And now if it walks on you first and it slides their belly on your skin and the snake's on you, or else the snake is never going to bite you because it doesn't understand that it's on you. Or else now, if a snake just walks on you, or else the snake's really sleeping about you. But if you go and, for example, let's say you step on a snake when it didn't touch you first, or else that's when it starts to bite you. Or else if you go to capture a snake, for example, or else the snake's going to turn around and try to bite you because it's afraid. Although when a snake walks on you first, or else it's never scared of you. Understand? Or else the snake is never scared of you when the snake goes on you first. Because that's something to say that is the moment when you can touch the snake too. And the snake can roll around on you. And it will never bite you. Understand? Although if you go to the snake first and try to grab it, or else that's when it will try to bite you because the snake never chose to be with you. And it's like me grabbing your hair to pull you into jail. Or else you must not resist, you must allow it, or understand that the non-human animals will bite you. Understand? Because with them it's self-defense. And now you have to understand that if I come up to grab your hair to put you in prison just like this, otherwise you self-defend because I'm not the police. Understand? I'm not the police. Although understand that if the police do it, you just go to jail. You get? So the best aspect of life is understand that non-human animals will never touch you and never hit you and never kill you. Unless you are the one trying to capture it and touch it. Understand? So never touch bees and never touch their garden and never touch their honeybee wax in terms of what they're making, because you're disturbing them. Understand? Although if the bees, in terms of them, came into your household and started touching you and making the beeswax on you, otherwise they'll never hurt you. Otherwise they'll never hurt you. Otherwise if the bees are making honey on you, otherwise they'll never touch you. Otherwise they'll just work around you. You get? Otherwise you don't go disturbing non-human animals and what their projects are on the floor either. Otherwise you may go and find ants, for example. You see ants and they make all holes for the queen, or they understand that it's a community of ants. You don't go poking their holes and disturbing their work. Because that's their work. Because that's what God put them to do. I mean, don't go and ruin people's homes. I mean, don't go and ruin other people's houses. I mean, don't go and ruin other people's privacy and peace. Because if you see a snake somewhere, I mean, don't go chasing it. I mean, you look stupid if you go chase it. Or is that if you see a spider next to you, I mean, try to pick it up with something and put it outside. I mean, if you see a bee in a pool, if you see a little bee in a pool, I mean, pick it up and put it on the grass somewhere. Or that's a sign of strength. Or that's a human being helping another being out. I mean, you saved a little bee from thousands of people in a pool. Understand? You save the fly, you save the ants, or whatever it is. You save animals. You don't kill them. You don't disturb them. You don't touch spiders. Whereas my biological father, whereas I had a tarantula. Whereas I had a tarantula on the wall, and it's so big. Whereas it's so massive. And my biological father sees it. I dropped my plates because of it, although I started to blame it. And I understand my biological father just went and boom, smacked it, and it died. Otherwise, you don't kill spiders. You pick it up somehow. You pick it up, you make sure to see where it's going, and then you go and take it out somewhere. You don't kill nothing. Understand? So understand that every single day you perform much better, you public speak much better, you understand much better, and that way you understand how to live better. I'll see you guys in the next video.